This is crap, Senator Lamy said. The Independent said the bigger media players should have seen the changes coming sooner and adapted. $30 million you go and give to others who are already making an absolute monster out there. They should have got up with the bloody program of the 21st century. Independent Senator Jackie Lamy is not a fan of the ABC measures either. To go after the public broadcaster is a disgrace, an absolute disgrace, Senator Lamy said. You're going after and attacking our very own public broadcasters. What is that? Because they're one step ahead with iView and their social media platforms? With the support of One Nation and the Nick Xenophon team, the government has enough votes to pass the legislation. One Nation secured government support for separate legislation to force the ABC to disclose the salaries of its top-paid presenters and requiring it to be fair and balanced. Senator Xenophon does not support this legislation and it will not pass. But One Nation seems content to pass the government's wider media industry changes anyway. The legislation has not been passed yet. The government is likely to keep Parliament going until it does. Labour and the Greens do not support the changes. Labour Senator Sam Dastyari said last night, "You are better than this dirty deal that has been done at the 11th hour. We are selling our journalism for 60 scholarships. That's it. I am not against a deal, but make it a good one. How cheap do we have to go in this?" Back to top. In exchange for his support, Senate Kingmaker Nick Xenophon secured a suite of concessions from the government, including a one-off $60 million fund to support small publishers, journalism scholarships and subsidized journalism cadetships. This includes $50 million over 3 years in grants to regional and small publishers, capped at $1 million per publication, that is available from mid-2018. He believes these grants will create more jobs and is there to expand civic journalism. News Corp and Fairfax Media, which own many regional newspapers, are ineligible for the new funding, which will be distributed by the Australian Communications and Media Authority. There will still be some ownership controls and local content requirements. For example, a single person cannot control more than 2 radio stations or more than 1 television station in a single market, and there must be a minimum of 4 voices in regional cities and 5 in big cities. Each regional market requires 21 minutes of local content a day. Let's get onto the government's media changes. It has, finally, secured the support of the Nick Xenophon team to reshape the industry. What's going is the cross-media ownership rule, which the government says is outdated and irrelevant and prevents a single person controlling print, radio and television in a single city, and ruled no one could broadcast to 100% of the population, hence our regional-only broadcasters. It was supposed to guarantee diversity in the media but has become increasingly irrelevant since this thing's called the internet came along. Back to top. The inquiry, which was heard in camera from May through to August 1986, was halted when it was revealed that Murphy had terminal cancer. He died in October 1986, aged 64. Murphy had endured 2 earlier parliamentary inquiries and 2 criminal trials. The first found him guilty and saw him sentenced to jail. He successfully appealed and was acquitted at his second trial. Upon his acquittal, Murphy's determination to return to the High Court was not greeted enthusiastically by some of his fellow judges, who were rumoured to be threatening to boycott sitting with Murphy. Facing a potential judicial crisis, the Hawke government ordered a secret inquiry to examine fresh allegations of misconduct on Murphy's part, that he had offered a bribe to federal police officer Don Thomas. Alan Robert, 80, has told Fairfax Media the private investment company, Robert International, was run by his son during the 6-year period he and his wife, Dorothy, were the company's only directors. It is a revelation that would link the Queensland MP with the IT services business, GMT Group, at a time when Stuart Robert claims to have ceased involvement in GMT. The former minister has been under fire after Fairfax Media last week revealed he had direct financial links with a company awarded millions in federal government work. Section 44 of the Constitution forbids MPs from directly or even indirectly profiting from the Commonwealth. My colleague, Latika Bork, has been looking at the business dealings of government MP Stuart Robert, which raised questions about whether or not Mr. Robert was eligible to stand for Parliament. The latest development sees Mr. Robert's father telling Latika he was unaware he was a director of a private investment company that held shares in his son's IT service business, which has won tens of millions of dollars.